Good afternoon and welcome to Yoga with Anna, our midweek reset here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, PCS&M. My name is Anna and I'm your yoga host, your resident yogi here at PCS&M. Sandy isn't with us today. She is doing her other stuff that she's got to do. Right? We have other obligations, and I'm so grateful that you can catch this later, Sandy, and practice with me. So this is awesome that we can be here. But I do miss you because I haven't seen you, and I can't wait to hear all about your trip. So, and I would need to recover from that too. All right, so I wanted to tap in today to this book called The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. He's, I think he's in his 60s. He's a writer, a poet, and just writes amazingly. And about his life experiences, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in his 30s and survived it, and has survived a lot of adversity in his life, which is what he really talks about, and why he is so been drawn to write like this, his experiences, and share them with us. So this book is really cool because it has an excerpt for every day of the year, and it was a gift, and I'm so grateful for this gift. All right, so let's just find a comfortable seat, and you can sit either in happy easy pose, Sukhasana, or you can lie down or sit in a chair, whatever's comfortable for you. So in June 28th, which is the day we are in today, all that we are not. Discernment is a process of letting go of what we are not. And that was written by Father Thomas Keating. So I'm going to continue to read, and then we can absorb this through our practice and take what resonates with us. I can easily over-identify with my emotions and roles, becoming what I feel. I'm angry, I am divorced, I am depressed, I am a failure, I am nothing but my confusion and my sadness. No matter how we feel in any one moment, we are not just our feelings, our roles, our traumas, our prescription of values, and our obligation or ambitions. So it is easy to define ourselves by the moment of struggle we are wrestling with. It is a very human way to be consumed by what moves through us. In contrast, I often think of how Michelangelo sculpted, how he saw the sculpture waiting, already complete, in the once uncut stone. He would often say that what his job was to carve away the excess, freeing the thing of beauty just waiting to be released. It helps me to think of spiritual discernment in this way, facing ourselves, uncovering the meaning in our hard experiences. The entire work of consciousness speaks to a process by which we sculpt away the excess. All that we are not. Finding and releasing the gesture of soul that is already waiting, complete within us. Self-actualization is the process applied to our life on earth. The many ways we suffer, both inwardly and outwardly, are the chisels of God freeing the thing of beauty that we have carried within since birth. So quietly, and as you breathe, feel all that troubles you rise through your body. As you breathe, allow these troubles to move away from you. Breathe deeply and accept the stillness that comes. It is the skin of your soul waiting in its completeness for you to carve away the excess of your very human needs. There's such beauty in his thoughts and words. Inviting you to bring your hands in Anjali Mudra. Taking a few deep breaths with me as I invite you to set an intention for your practice this afternoon. Remembering that it is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives once we leave this space. I invite you to take a deep breath in with me. Slow exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats. And fluttering our eyes open when you're ready. Namaste and good afternoon. I'm so grateful to be here, and I do have someone special in studio today. So we have a friend of the church, Christine, who is here after graduating from her 200 hours, and you'll see her out there. So I just wanted to make that shout out for you, all right? Because it's a lot of work to do 200 hours. It is a lot of work and inner work. All right, so let's take a nice deep breath in your seat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, let arms rise up. Press the palms together this time. Exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, rise up again. Exhale, let everything go. All right, so let's come into hero pose from whatever seat you are in. And let's take a moment here to gently curl the toes under, bring the hips to the heels, and gently sit on our feet if we can do that and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. And if it does feel uncomfortable, of course you can always put a block between and just allow yourself to shift the weight a little bit differently. You can close your eyes here, and you can gently bring your hands into mountain, palms out, and shoulders back. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Take a few more breaths here, opening up the bottoms of the feet. And stretch to our toes. All right, so from here, releasing the toes and coming back down. All right, so we're going to shift the hips over to the right side or left side. Come back to a seated. Hands on the lap. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to take the body around the world. So around the pelvic floor. And if it feels good to you, taking that awareness to strengthen the pelvic floor. Every now and again, when you get to think about that and bringing the awareness to the hips, pulling in the perineum with the breath as you inhale and pulling in, exhaling, it'll release. Let's go the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Inhale, arms come up. Parallel to the ears. Let's reach up high, palms face forward, begin to hinge forward, gently dropping the arms in front of you. Once hands drop down to the floor, inhale the crown towards away from you. So you lengthen there, so lengthen through the crown. And then gently, maybe bending the elbows or hinging a little more, reaching a little bit more forward. Then once you're in a comfortable place, feel like you're sectioning those palms down into your mat, and inhale, lengthen through the crown and pull the palms towards you without actually moving or shifting the palms. Creating some length there. and then gently walk the hands all the way back. Come back to seated. Inhale the arms up again. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, gently reaching up towards the sky. Let's wiggle the rib cage left and right. A lot of rain going on right now, so I do hear that affects the joints. So let's take a few little circles here with the hands above our head, and go the opposite. So it's also wiggling your rib cage, and then gently lower the hands in front of you, release the hands, face the palms out. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of arthritic heat in the joints lately with the weather. So we're going to tighten the hands, and that creates pain. And then bring them back to fist, extend. So these gentle movements are really good, ease some of the inflammation there, and help you feel more mobile. So just extending and squeezing, and then gently beginning to rotate the wrists. And then just release the hands. And then bring the hands in front of you. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So we have our hips stacked over our knees, shoulders stacked over the wrists. Fingers are spread nice and wide, pointer finger, middle finger facing forward towards the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to cat-cow here. Let's drop the belly, take the gaze up to the sky, tilting the tail, exhale, chin to chest, rounding in. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up. Exhale, chin to chest. Let's continue back and forth, syncing the breath with the movement. Making the spine nice and juicy for more movement. It's always best to warm up the spine before you get into any twisting, because we always want to stay safe. That is the number one thing in this practice, is safety. Well, that's what I always think about, which is why probably I move slow. All right, so come to tabletop again. And from here, let's shift the hips back. Extend the arms forward, come to a little child's pose. Inhale, walk the hands over to the right side. Take that left hand on top of the right, and then ground that left hip in towards your left heel. Last breath here. As you exhale, walk the hands to center, and then walk them all the way over to the left. Allow that right hand on top of the left. Nice deep breath in as you ground that right hip in. So you'll feel that nice stretch on the right side body. Last breath as you inhale, walking back to center, lower down and exhale. Ground your third eye. Maybe a little massage as you move the forehead back and forth. And then gently walk the hands back to a tabletop position, lifting up your hips and coming back. All right, so from here, let's gently curl the toes under and shift the hips back, giving the feet another little stretch. Then shift the shoulders forward, top of the wrists, release the feet. Take that right leg back, ground the toes, press the heel back. Breathing nice and deep, and on the next breath, shift the shoulders forward, lift that back leg, flex the foot and extend that left arm long. Pull the navel in towards the back of the spine. Mark Nepo really gives us a lot for thought. So I love reading his words. Let's come back to our tabletop, extend that left leg back, ground the toes, press the heel back. Keeping that navel tucked. Next breath, shift the shoulders forward, extend that right arm long. So really feeling like you're really pressing that leg back, reaching forward, pull the navel in. Nice deep breath, and on the exhale, bring everything back. All right, so let's take the hips into some movement by shifting the hips into a circular, going circular around the room. You might hear some snap, crackle, pops. So you can take your hips into a figure 8, if that feels good, or just in a circular way. And then let's come back to center, and let's take a moment here to go inward once again. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and we're going to begin some intuitive movement. So just maybe like 30 seconds of intuitive movement as we begin to connect to our breath, and then begin to move the body, maybe taking the hips back to begin with, and then shifting forward. You can start to create circles, or however it feels that you want to move your body. So this is your moment just to connect to yourself and see how you want to move. You can shift the arms forward, shift the body forward. You can take a down dog. You can rest in a child's pose. A few more breaths here. And then coming back to your tabletop. Let's curl the toes under, shift the hips up, come to a down dog. Pull the navel in, reach the heart towards the thighs. Let's walk the dog, lifting one heel after the other. Taking the gaze between the ankles. Lift the heels high, bend the knees deep. Take the drishti, or your gaze, between the hands. Inhale, come back to your down dog. Gaze goes between the ankles. Take a nice deep breath again, and then let's bring the knees down. Shift the hips back, extend the arms forward. Inhale, come back up. Let's stack the shoulders over the wrists. And then from here, let's come back to a down dog. And then walk the feet to meet the hands, come to a forward fold. Let's ragdoll here, allowing the upper body to feel heavy. You can dangle the arms or take a bind elbow to elbow. You can bend one knee after the other if that feels good. And you can even take a deep bend in the knee, shifting the hips down. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Taking that sway. Let's inhale, hands on the shins, come to a half lift, bring the shoulders back, and then exhale, plant the palms again, step back with both feet, come to a modified plank. Tuck the elbows. From here, let's gently shift forward, bring that chest down, and sweep up, come to an up dog. And then lower the knees, come back to a child's pose. Inhale, shift forward. Take the up dog. You don't have to. You can curl the toes under or not, up to you and what you want to feel, and then gently shift back. One more time. Inhale, shift forward. A gentle up dog, taking the gaze to the sky. And then exhale, come back to a brief child's pose. And then let's set up into our tabletop once again. Gonna flow here a little bit. On the right side, inhale that right arm up, open up the chest, and we're gonna weave it underneath the left arm, but we're gonna flow. So just reach through, inhale, reach that right arm up high again, exhale, weave it through. Inhale, reach high, exhale, weave it through. 2 more, inhale, reach high, exhale, weave it through. 1 more, inhale, reach high. Now we're going to drop the shoulder as we weave it through. Drop that right shoulder down, left temple down, and that left arm can extend forward. So once you are a little comfortable here, we're opening up the back of the shoulder. You can shift that left arm towards you to take a different approach by pressing the palm into the mat, or you can lift that arm high, flip the palm, and bring that arm behind you. And so there's different things that you can do with the opposite arm. So that left arm is opening up the front of the shoulder. Nice deep breaths here. So you can feel free to stay right here. I'm going to shift my arm up and bring it back in front of me. I'm going to walk the hand to support myself because I'm going to take that left leg and lift it up. So that left leg is going to rise long. And you can flex, point, rotate the ankle if that feels good. Reach high and then bring it back. Now inhale, we're going to lift ourselves up. Take that right arm underneath and reach up to the sky. And then exhale, float it back down, come back to your table. All right, so switching sides. Left arm's going to rise. Exhale, we're going to weave it through. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, weave it through. 2 more on your own. And last one. Reach high and then exhale, weave it through. Drop that left shoulder, left temple. Extend that right arm long. Allow the hips to gently be drawn towards the earth. Once you're settled here, you can choose what you would like to do with your arm. You can take it up high and bring it behind you to open up the front right shoulder. And you can also do what I'm doing, which is reaching for a bind, which is opening up the shoulder a little bit more. But be very gentle. Inhale, reach back up, or you can stay there. Bring that right arm down to support you as we gently lift that right leg up. Pull the navel in. You can flex, point, and rotate the ankle. And then gently guide that leg back. Support yourself with that right hand and gently press yourself up. Inhale that left arm high and then gently take it back. Alright, let's circle the hips a little bit. Take the hips back to give the shoulders some movement and shift the hips forward. Alright. Coming back to tabletop, curl the toes under, lift the hips high, come to your hands. deep breath. Press the heart towards the thighs. And we're going to take a reach with that right hand towards the left ankle. Release, other side. Take a peek under that right arm. And then gently come back to center. Let's walk the feet to meet the hands forward. Inhale, hands on the shins, come to your half lift and root to rise. Come all the way back up, palms touch. Palms come to earth. Inhale, arms come up, reach back, press the hips forward. Exhale, swan dive down, palms together, release at the bottom of the foot. Inhale, hands on the shins, come to your half lift. And exhale, let's plant the palms down on the mat. Step back with that right leg. Right knee comes down. Inhale, arms come up. Reach back, cactus arms. Inhale, come back up. And then from here, flip the palms, bring the gaze down, bracket that front foot. Let's curl the toes under of that back knee. And we're going to gently open up on the left side. So left arm's going to rise. We're going to press that heel back. Exhale, lower. So two options here. We're going to flow. You can flow with that knee down and gently open up on one side and flow this way. Or you can stay balanced with that knee high and flow that way. Okay, so I'm going to lower the knee, but you have that option. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Reach up high. Exhale, lower down. Bracket that front foot. Inhale, arms reach high. Reach back. Cactus arms. Reach high again, flip the palms, roll the arms down, reach behind you, and release the fingers. Gently reach those wrists towards the back of the mat, and begin to take that gaze up to the sky. Inhale, let's take a bow. Exhale. Really plug that front big toe in. Ground in, inhale, come all the way back up slowly, keeping the gaze to the sky. Release the bind, arms come all the way back up. Exhale, lower. Pull the toes under that back foot, and then gently take that front foot, bring it back. Drop the knees, let's chaturanga down. Tuck the elbows, pull the navel in, and gently take the chest down, sweep up into an up dog, and we'll sit it down. Inhale, heels high, bend the knees deep. Take the gaze between the hands and walk the feet to meet the hands forward. Inhale, hands on the shins, come to a half lift. Now let's reach and rise, really pressing the energy through the feet, rising with the arms, press the palms together. Palms come to heart. All right. Everybody, good. Inhale, arms come up high, reach back, press the hips forward, palms together, come down to your forward fold, release, palms at the bottom of the foot. Inhale, hands on the shins, come to a half lift, exhale, round the palms, step back with that left foot, inhale, arms come up, reach back, take a couple breaths here, allow the hips to gently ground and be pulled towards the earth. Cactus arms. Reach up. And then cactus arms again. Reach up. Flip the palms. Gently bring those hands down. Bracket that front foot. Alright. Let's inhale. This is where we can take that lift of that back knee and flow, or take the knee down. So we're going to inhale that right arm up. Exhale, lower down, but still not getting really high. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, lower that right arm down. So I'm going to bring that knee down and it's up. Inhale, arms come up. Reach back, gaze up, flip the palms, float the arms down, reach behind you, interlace the fingers, reach those wrists towards the back of the mat. Taking the gaze to the sky. Inhale, hinging onto the brow. Really press through that big toe as you gently rise on the inhale, release the bind, arms come back up and float down to bracket that front foot. Curl the toes under that back foot. Let's bring that front foot back, come into a plank. Take it to a modified plank. You can tuck the elbows in, come down, sweep up, and then come back to the dog. And let's take the knees down to the mat, take the hips back. Then inhale, walk the hands towards your knees. Rise up, hips up, arms up. Reach back. We're going to take a bow, sweep the arms back. Inhale, reach high and back. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, reach high and back. Exhale, sweep it down. And gently reach high one more time. Beautiful. Reach out towards the sky, energizing through the sun that's through the clouds, and then flip the hands and lower down back to our table. Curl the toes under. Lift for your down dog. And then from here, take the gaze between the hands, walk the feet or hop between the hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, hands on the shins, come to your half lift. Let's root your eyes, come all the way back up. Let your palms touch and palms come to heart. Take a moment here just to notice what's coming up for you. Awareness to how your body feels, your heart rate. Allowing the breath to calm you. Beautiful. All right. Let's take a nice step back with that left foot. And we're going to come to a wide-legged stance. So let's allow the feet to be parallel to each other, slightly kicking out the heels. We're going to tone those legs. Take a nice deep breath, allow the arms to come up. Exhale, float the arms down, bring them to your lower back. Take a nice deep breath in, allow the hips to shift forward. And on the exhale, we're going to begin to hinge down. Eyes open, watching the horizon disappear. And then you can lower your hands down, come to a wide-legged forward. Option here to grab the outsides of the feet. And you can tuck the fingers underneath the feet. Or you can just gently also grab the outsides of the ankles. Take a nice deep breath, lengthen through the crown, and then forward fold a little bit more. You can also bring the hands underneath your shoulders. So now we can shift the weight a little bit forward towards our toes. Tone the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, shoulders back, and gently forward fold again. Shifting the weight towards the front of the feet. If your elbows are bent, bring them closer to your shins. If you have the bind, release, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's walk the hands over to the right side. Inhale, walk back to center and take it all the way over to the left side. Gently walk back to center. And from here, we're going to bend that right knee and come down. Walk the hands over to the right side. Come onto your right toes as you drop the hips down. So hands are in front of you to support yourself. Yeah. And then from here, we can take that balance. So we can go into a balance, or we can use the hands to walk us across to the opposite side. So a balance would look like this, hands at the heart center, and then we would shift sides and walking just a little bit different. You're just taking yourself to the other side with your hands, the support of your hands. And you can play with the balance when you get to, let's say you get to the right side, bringing your hands to heart to balance here. And then let's shift. Come to your comfortable position, gently rise up and bring your hands to heart and take that balance there. Lower the hands down and you can shift again. So you your body just begins to adjust. If you're in that balance, gazing forward, lifting the chest, pulling the navel in. All right, so just make sure that you even out. Let's come back to center, lift the hips up. Walk the hands over to the right side, pivot that right foot, and then that back foot is going to stay nice and parallel to the back edge of the mat. Windmill the arms all the way up, bring them down to shoulder height, and we are in our warrior two. So checking your alignment, your front heel is aligning with the instep of your back foot. Soften the shoulders, tuck the tail, pull the navel in. Breathing here. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach back with that right hand, and then exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Let's take a side angle, bending that front, that right forearm. Reach over with that left arm at a beautiful angle. Let's contain the energy, bring the fingers together. Really feel like you're lifting the torso up off the thigh and then gently come back to your warrior two. Beautiful. Let's get into our triangle. Let's extend that front leg. Reach forward with that right arm. Flip that palm to the left, outside, and then bring that arm to the outside, to the inside ankle. Reach high with that left arm. Stay nice and lifted. Really ground those feet as you inhale. Come back up. Come back to your warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, gaze forward, extend that front leg, and then exhale, come back to your warrior two. Then inhale, reach up, pivot that right foot, left foot pivots forward, and then come back to your warrior two. Opposite side. So just making sure that you are nice and aligned with that front heel to the instep of that back foot. Soften the shoulders, tuck the tail, pull the navel in. Let's go into our reverse warrior. Reach back with that left hand and then gently you can bring that right hand behind you and then come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. One more reach. Exhale, side angle. Bend that left elbow to that left thigh. Reach over with the right arm. Really anchor in that front big toe and back outer edge of that back foot. Really reaching through the fingertips, containing the energy. Bring those fingers back together. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. Let's get into our triangle. Extend that front leg. Reach with that left arm. Flip that left palm forward. And gently guide that left palm down towards the ankle. Reach high with that right arm. Gaze is either straight ahead or towards the sky. Last breath here. Inhale, ground in, anchor in, come back to your warrior two. And then let's inhale, bring the gaze back to center, pivot that left foot. So now they're both forward, and then we're going to gently reach out, star pose, press the hips forward, take the gaze up. Beautiful. Come back to center, arms come parallel to the ears, pivot that front foot, that right foot, and then we're gently going to windmill the arms down. Bring that front foot back. Bring the knees down. Shift the hips back. Child's pose here. And then gently come back. Stacking those shoulders over the wrists. Come into your down dog. Lift the hips high. Nice deep breaths. Maybe hawing it out. Beautiful. From here, let's take a wide-legged child's pose. Take the knees out to the width of the mat. Let the toes touch. And allow the hips to shift back. Reach forward. Extend the arms. Ground that breath. Take a nice deep breath in. Walk the hands towards your knees. Bring the knees back together. Shift the hips to one side. And then gently sweeping the legs around. All right, so I'm scooting my bottom down, so I'm more centered in my mat. From here, let's take the hands behind us. Fingers point towards the back edge of the mat, and I just gave myself a little more room to gently shift the hips back and forth. Extend the legs long. Hands come by your side, Dandasana step pose. Gently lift the heels up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reach for the toes or the outsides of the feet. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen through the crown, and then gently begin to lift. So you can take the hands to the shins, or what I tell my students is reach for the outsides of the feet anyway, or peace finger your toes and bend the knees as much as possible. Because what you're going to be doing is gently pressing those heels out in this stretch and lengthening and keeping the spine long. Eventually, with time, your legs are going to extend forward. Your flexibility will improve. Believe it. Inhale, arms come up. Gently lower down. All right, from here, let's gently reach forward. Take a lean back. Reach forward. Lean back, pull a little in, reach forward, lean back. Extend that left leg long. Bring that right knee, that right foot into the inner left thigh. Inhale, arms up, turn towards that left thigh. Flex the foot and reach for the outsides of the foot. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, lower down. If you have the bind, lower that right shoulder back. Forehead to knee. One more breath and release. Come all the way back up and switch sides. Inhale, reach high, and exhale, reach for the outsides of the portions. Inhale, lengthen through the crown again, and exhale, bring the forehead towards the knee.
Keeping the spine nice and long. Bring that left shoulder down. And release. Come all the way back up. Bend both knees. Reach forward. Bring the heart forward. Lean back. We're going to go in. Reach the heart forward. And then we're going to gently begin to descend. Pulling the navel in. Vertebra after vertebra. And head comes down last. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Let them rock side to side. Tuck the chin. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Full body stretch. Arms extend over the head. Stretch the legs out. Opposite direction. Leg stretch. Arm stretch. Bring that right knee into chest. Flex both feet. Shoulders reach for the mat, away from the ears. And then gently guide that knee to that right shoulder. Bend that left leg. And then from here, let's cradle that right ankle. Bring it into a figure four. So that right ankle is going to come onto the left thigh. We're going to take a supine pigeon. Let's weave the arms underneath that left thigh. And interlace the fingers. And then gently begin to bend that left knee. Support that thigh. Flex both feet. Tuck the chin and inhale. Begin to pull that left towards you. You can use that right elbow to gently press the left thigh to assist in that hip opening, but be very, very gentle. Remember to practice compassionately and use your breath to work through the sensations. Begin to release the bind, lower that left leg, release the right, full body stretch, extend the legs, arms reach high, and then bring that left knee in to chest. Taking a squeeze, and then guide that shoulder towards guide that knee towards the left shoulder. Bend that right knee. One quick squeeze again, and then cradle that left ankle and bring it over to the right thigh. Reach through the legs, interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh, flex both feet. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, gently begin to bring that right leg towards you, tuck the chin. Breathing nice and deep. Last breath in. And release. Arms over the head, extend the legs long. Reach. Beautiful. Let's squeeze in that right knee in, and then squeeze in that left, extend the right. Inhale, squeeze the right knee in, extend the left. Inhale, bring that left knee down. Exhale, release. Inhale, right knee. Last one as we extend the right leg, bring that left knee in. And then release, bend the knees. Bring the arms to a T, windshield right arm, left and right. Then let's allow the knees to fall over to the right side. Take the gaze over to the left. If if it feels good to bring that right ankle to the top of our left thigh to take that twist a little further, you can. Let's come back to center, release the bind if you've taken it, and gently windshield wiper back and forth. And then allow the knees to fall over to the left side. Take the gaze over to the right fingertips. Maybe that left ankle comes over to the outside of that right thigh, the top of the right thigh. Breathing nice and deep, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, lower down. So the breath assists in the twist, noticing as you breathe in how the rib cage expands, aiding in the twist, just with the breath. And let's release, come back to center. Allow the knees to windshield wiper again, and then let's reach for our happy baby. So you can peace finger your toes here, like I like to do, or you can take it to the outside, so you reach for the outsides of the feet, and allow yourself to rock side to side. Alright, so from here, come back to center, bring the legs together, reach high towards the sky. Allow the arms to fall by your side, palms down. Option here to gently take a supported, so you can place either a bolster or a pillow underneath your hips, or you can take a block and place it underneath your hips to support your lift. That helps you stay in it longer. Or for those of you that are in a more advanced practice that want to take it a little further, you can take it into a shoulder stand, and then you can take it into a plow if that's in your practice. So allow the legs to gently come over the head, toes land, gently press the heels back. You can even take a bind here. And then gently lifting one leg after the other. And then if you've gone into shoulder stand, bending the knees and gently rolling one vertebra at a time coming down. And then allow the legs to gently come back down. You can either challenge yourself here, challenge the core to bring the legs down, controlled, or bend the knees and bring the legs down. The most comfortable way for you. Alright, so let's take a supine Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. We'll take butterfly pose lying down. And then let's take our arms into cactus, allowing ourselves to open, allowing everything that we've done to come in, allowing the words of Mark Nepo to process. And then from here, let's bring the knees together, take a squeeze of the knees inwards again, and we'll rock side to side. Knees, hands on the knees, and bring them into a circular motion. More on one side, and then circling the knees in the opposite direction. And then allow the legs to extend. You can take one final stretch here, or any kind of movement you would like to take. And finally, settle you into your Shavasana, bringing your arms by your side, palms facing up, allowing the toes to fall open. Noticing if you tuck your shoulders underneath your body, what that feels like. You'll open up your palms more broad as it broadens the collarbone. Allowing any tension that you're holding on to dissipate. Allowing the hips to sink into the earth. Feeling that support from the earth for your entire body. Bringing our body into full relaxation to access the body's innate wisdom to absorb all the benefits and heal. You are more than welcome to stay right where you are. I will cue you when it's time to come out. Let's allow some subtle movement back into the body as we wiggle our fingers and our toes and bring some movement into our bodies, some subtle, gentle movement. And when you're ready, rolling over to your left side, gently resting your head, bending your knees in that fetal position. You can even take a moment here to ground your third eye. And when you're ready, pressing all the way back up to meet me in seated. Join me with your hands in Anjala Mudra or prayer position at the heart center. In conclusion, for our beautiful class today, so grateful to be here. Please join me in bringing your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, especially about yourself. Back to our lips, in front of our lips, as a reminder to speak kind words, especially to yourself. And back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, inner strength, and fierce grace from my heart to yours in complete